say bad dream. But then again, you're yeah, bad dream, bad dream. For a moment, I felt breathless. I kept my eyes wide open, trying to convince myself I was no longer dreaming and I was safe. I had a nightmare. I thought you can't dream here. This one was different. I don't remember it happening before. It wasn't a memory, not my memory. He didn't say anything more. I started to calm down and I drew in a shaky breath. Do you mind if I stay here for a while? Sure. I closed my eyes and focused on my breathing. After a while, I heard my brother's voice. It'll be okay. I'm here. I nodded, relaxing my body. It took a long time, but I finally fell asleep again. I might not be able to wake up just yet, but I wasn't alone. And for that, I felt immensely grateful. I know. Seven had her awakening. I saw her as I walked down the hall and immediately knew the moment I saw her face. One of her eyes was clear. Instead of the dark shadow look everyone else had, her eye was bright and alert. So just one eye. She saw me and smiled. Hello, 8. I swallowed hard as I walked up. You're awake. Soon. I want to thank you. Me? I looked at her in confusion and she patted my head gently. It's all thanks to you that I can finally let go. What do you mean? She was fading in front of me, but not the same way as when she was going under a memory. She was turning into light. My throat tightened as I watched her body break into small bright particles and float up into the air. This time I knew I wouldn't see her again. I realized my children are not alone, even if I'm not around. They have each other to lean on, just like you and Zero. They love each other their strength. I know that now. That's why I can rest easy. Thank you, 8. Wait, 7? Tears blurred my vision as she took my hand gently. It's time for me to go, but I want you to know my name. My name is Mei Ling. Oh, she's Asian. She's Chinese. Okay. Mei Ling. Mei Ling smiled, her happiness glowing on her face. She was so transparent that I couldn't focus on her outline anymore. I have to go, but let's go. Goodbye, 8. A burst of light particles later, she was gone. I told my brother, who told 13. 13 was ecstatic. God, I can't wait to wake too. I hope I'm next. This place is great and all, but I want to live as soon as possible. You get me? Yeah. My brother answered, but he didn't sound like he was listening to 13. Instead, he seemed deep in thought. 13 rolled his eyes and faced me. He's busy now. How about you? Can't wait to wake either, right? I didn't answer. All I could think of was Mei Ling disappearing in light, floating high and away. I was bothered about the crinkles in her eyes when she smiled, the ones that reminded me of crow's feet. I thought about the sound of her knitting needles as I dozed in her room. I looked at my brother and tried to imagine him turning into light too. Man, why do you two play him up all of a sudden? He sighed and gave up, throwing himself down onto the studio couch. I just want to leave. We can wish for almost anything except the things we really want. Can't taste a thing, can't feel a thing, can't do anything interesting. It drives you mad. You just keep rewinding through your life over and over until you remember your name. If you ever do, and that's no way to live. I ain't interested in reliving something I've already been through once. I want to make new memories, not look at old ones. I want to really live, you know? We can't be stuck here forever. His voice floated after me, listening to his complaints as I left the studio. My brother joined me later outside. He sat down behind me and leaned his back against mine. You okay? I tugged at the grass beneath my feet. I miss her. Who said it? Mei Ling. We were silent for a while, me pulling up grass that kept growing back, and him leaning against me to look at the sky. You two were pretty close, considering how hard you find it to talk to strangers. She was nice. She didn't talk much. She listened. Sometimes we talked and it felt okay. The I'm ruining this moment. But the surprising thing is, even if he didn't talk, it was alright too. I stopped pulling up the grass. It was pointless trying to tear down something when it just kept growing back so rapidly. She reminded me of home. My brother didn't speak. I sniffed a little and rubbed my nose with my sleeve. I miss Mom and Dad. It was a while before I heard my brother's reply. Me too. In the darkness of a tiny cold hospital room, I saw my brother's small back. He faced our grandfather, wizened and wasting away in front of us. His back was oddly straight and stiff. We were children then. It's the first time either of us faced what dying meant. It didn't feel real. My grandpa was shortly around, red-faced and smiling. He had a laugh that reminded me of firecrackers going off. He had a smile that matched the sun. He didn't sleep in dark, cold rooms. He didn't have wires and tubes stuck into his hands and throat. He didn't need machines to help him breathe and eat and to live. The pale, thin, gasping body wasn't my grandpa. I didn't recognize the shadow of a person. I couldn't bring myself to look at this man who was our grandfather, not my grandpa. I pretended to look at the bags and the tubes hanging out the side of the bed, too afraid to look. But my brother was different from me. He faced our grandfather, tight-lipped but unwavering as it held onto a clawed-veined hand that I was too afraid to reach for. His eyes never left our grandfather's face. He was afraid too, but even more than that, he hated turning his eyes away from the truth. I think we're dead. His words cut into me, and I swallowed the heavy feeling of dread in my throat. He knew I hated the topic of death. It always scared me. You're wrong. We're just dreaming. His eyes didn't waver. He stared straight at me, his expression serious and fierce. I wanted to look away, but I didn't want to back down. Backstabbing me in a minute, please, but you don't understand. This isn't a dream. It's too messed up to be a dream. Don't you see? This place is holding us here. We're not waking up. We will. We just have to remember that we can wake and leave. What does waking even mean, sisters? It just means sleep. It doesn't mean we're going to really wake up. We stared at each other. Neither of us wanted to back down. I could hear the frustration in his voice, and I knew he was reaching his level. So remember when I asked you why you had this dream? Yeah. All your reasons also because you're physically dead. A sharp cold fear bubbled in my stomach, and I stepped back. And what do you know about being dead? I'm not supposed to be ready to have experience of how something you die. No, I don't. It's just a feeling. Well, feeling like you're dead is because evidence for your arguments. No, but it explains a lot of things in James' hands. Why is it that we're all people know from here? Don't you think it's weird how we can't see true up Mom and Dad? Or anyone else we know? Why can we only get some of this chance and not others? Why can't we wake up? Why are we sharing the same dream? Why do we keep coming back to the same place? How long will we keep living like this? That's all the questions in the back of my head that I was too afraid to think about, and I almost hesitated for it. You I can't answer them. It will just be a part of my dream. It might just be acting like the brother I think you are, but it doesn't make you really you. Her expression on his face stung me still, so I was too upset to apologize just yet. Maybe you're not even the real me. Maybe I'm just you look like him, and I'm just part of your dream. That's because I should be able to manipulate you here, like making you disappear so small. But I can't. You can't do the same to me. We fell silent. There was an angel on the safe back. Still, I didn't believe him. I couldn't. I don't remember dying. I had nightmares, but I couldn't be. That wasn't my memory. I wasn't dead. I couldn't be. Or you were just in denial. Or you won't remember your name until you remember your family's death. Something like that, or just do something like denial, like you don't want to think about it at all, and you just push it, just like these people Or maybe they're forced to forget that they died and slowly make their way towards it so they don't end up breaking. That could be why. Because they could be in limbo. You know. Let's do this one. Still, my brother didn't look like he would butch anytime soon. If he's so adamant about this, he must have a good reason. My brother wouldn't say things like this is scary for nothing. He really believes he's right. I think this is a dream and we're dead. What do you think this place is? My brother looked at the earth, just like Noah, hovered over us as if he was watching, waiting. I don't know. It's not heaven. It's too long to be such a place. It hides things too much. Maybe it's a place between the living and the dead. I swallowed hard. And wait, King is? He paused for a minute, his gaze never leaving the earth. Something doesn't mean to tell me. Feeling a strange sense of dread, I waited for him to speak. Whatever it was, it didn't look easy to say. I've been having weird dreams. It's not the same as the memories. It feels like dreaming because I remember it happening. But I died in this dream. First I couldn't see anything, but the second time I saw it, the dream felt more vivid. Just like her dream, with all the red and her feeling cramps, because just like in her trauma. And it just feels even worse, because it reminds her of her trauma with the closet. I was sure of it at first, but now I am, almost dying in that dream. The words hung in the air, heavy and foreboding. I remembered my nightmare, the memory that I didn't remember, the one that wasn't mine. I didn't know my brother was seeing them too. How long have you been having these dreams? A while now. Why haven't you told me? Because it'll scare you. Things like this always scare you. He paused, looking back at me. I think I'm dead, sis. My stomach dropped, and a cold feeling filled my insides. My brother's voice sounded so small, and all of a sudden I knew it was just as frightened as me. Maybe they died together, like on a bus accident. I think. I could be way off, though. But that's the only thing I could think of. Some sort of car accident. Damn. He brought this up with me for a reason. Even if he knew it would scare me, he was scared too. He wanted me to disprove him and dispel all of his worries. He fought against me as much as he could, because somewhere inside he hoped I would still be able to convince him that he was wrong. It was a terribly heavy burden for me to bear. This place took more than just my pain from me. It took the memories that made me what I am, what I used to be. And now it feels like it's taking more. I can't stand it. I hate this place. The worst part is not being able to leave. I quietly took his hand. He squeezed my hand in his, looking away from me. I kept my face turned to the side, knowing he didn't want me to see him cry. We'll wake up soon. He snorted half-heartedly as he wiped his face, and I squeezed his hand back. Hey, you'll see. We'll definitely leave this place. The first time I was hit wasn't meant for me. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Our dad was a believer of that that phrase. He didn't believe in hitting girls, however, so my punishment was the closet. My brother was the one who was beaten. Depending on how he's beaten, as in, if it isn't real beating, as in abusive type of beating, then it's number one douchebag. But if, it's like minor hits, like discipline hits across the push, a couple times, then it's okay. If that's what happened to me, and I turned out just fine. Because seriously, you don't see me going out there. And of course, children, no, I'm not gonna get into that. No, this is supposed to be a visual novel. Yeah. More often than not, we were punished during study time. Oh. Study time? You've got to... No, keep reading. It's just a visual novel. It's not real. There's the visual novel me. If we didn't understand anything, Dad would try to teach us. If we still didn't understand, he called us lazy. If that didn't work, he'll lock me up in my closet. He'll be, yeah, piece definitely a douchebag. A piece of shit douchebag. I am going to curse you, a douchebag. That divorce was good. Unless he cheated. Cheat? No. Oh, damn it, just kidding me. He thought if we just tried harder, we wouldn't be having any problems. Dad had problems managing his anger. Sometimes he hit my brother a little too hard. Sometimes he left me in the closet longer. We hated being taught by him. My brother's weakest subject was math. He got beaten a lot for not understanding. He tried, but it wasn't enough. He wasn't trying hard enough, Dad would say to Mom. He was lazy. Thank goodness people realize today that people have different learning methods. One kid can understand it easily, but another needs to talk to him either verbally or hands-on. Everyone has different methods. They just have different. Everybody has difficulties somewhere. So when my brother brought home his first failed math quiz, Dad hit him. Maybe he thought pain would motivate my brother to work harder. Fear would make him try harder. All I knew was that Dad didn't stop beating my brother. I don't know why I jumped in between them. I hugged my brother's hunched body for dear life as Dad tried to hit him around me. He missed and hit me instead. It hurt a lot. Dad lost his temper and he was hitting a little too hard, but it didn't stop me from holding on to my brother. I had to protect him. This was my brother's nightmare just as much as it was mine. I had to protect him. When Mom finally stopped Dad, I let go. His tears streaming down my face from the stinging pain, I patted my brother's head as he cried. If that father was real, why did the mother not? Oh, that mother was rebuilt, but sadly, this is like real life. Oh, there are lots of families like this out there today. There's always gonna be a family like this somewhere. Always. I just realized I could have pressed the history button for that line I missed. My brother was always there for me when I was in the closet. That day, I realized I could be there for him too. My brother was at his limit. You couldn't calm down and always looked agitated at something. Even being in the studio didn't help him anymore. There was nothing 13 or I could do. We understood, so we just watched. While 13 hid behind his jokes and I hid behind my silence, my brother couldn't contain his frustration. My brother wasn't the type to hide. He paced restlessly around the hill. He paced in the building. There was anywhere else to go, but he didn't want to stop. He was just afraid of stopping. 13 took to keeping me company in his place. Okay, back, I think. I promised your brother to keep you coming whenever he's gone, and he's never been as far gone as he is now. He tried a joke to cheer me up, and I forced a smile. I may be losing my brother, but 13 was losing a friend too. He's having nightmares. 13 nodded as he absently strummed the guitar. I know, weird, huh? That's all you see here are memories. Have you had a nightmare yet? No, just memories, real boring stuff, because nothing ever happens. He strummed the guitar again. I wish he wouldn't. The sound was jarring in the empty studio. But just as much as I love silence, 13 loved sound. It was as though he needed to be constantly surrounded by noise to keep the silence up. So I simply listened as he strummed a few chords. I tried talking to him, but he didn't seem in the mood for it. Maybe he wants to be alone. 13 laughed, sounding sad. No, he doesn't. You're already alone in this place. Can't get much worse than this. He looked at me, his eyes completely serious. He needs you, Abe. He just won't say it, that's all. You're the only one he has left, just like it is for you. With 13 words in my mind, I went looking for my brother. He was staring up at the earth again. I wonder if it was because he wanted to go home, and this is where he thought home was. I stood beside him and looked up at Earth too. Beautiful, frightening, nostalgic home. The nightmare's getting worse. He sounded broken, quiet. This time his mind turned to his strength. What did you dream about? I wish I knew. Things happened too fast. There was a loud noise. I panicked. I tried to move. It was so blindingly bright, and there was only darkness. He paused for a minute. When he spoke, his voice came out choked. My last thought was always that I needed to protect you. Yep, they had an accident together. Definitely had an accident together. And they probably somehow got separated because of a crash. Maybe it was the blind light could have been incoming headlights, and then stop, keep reading, just keep reading. I took a deep breath, squeezing my fingers tightly. My brother needed me to stay strong, so I didn't speak. I think I failed. I think it's my regret that I failed you. I just wish I knew why I couldn't protect you. I wish I remembered. He drew a shredding breath, covering his face with his hand. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm tempted to pick the second choice because he wants to protect him too. Should I? I think I will, because that's my first choice and I'm sticking to it. Because I did say earlier that I'm not going after the best ending. I'm just trying to pick the most natural choice. It's because of me. I made him worry. Even in this nightmare, he was trying to protect me. I resented my weakness. I resented being his burden. I'm okay. I'm not a child anymore. You don't have to keep protecting me. He laughed hoarsely. What are you talking about? I'll never stop worrying about you. My face tightened as he spoke. I'm not that weak. It's not that. It's not because you're a kid. It's because you're my only sister. We stood in silence for a while, gazing up at the earth. I stole a glance at my brother's profile. He seemed calmer now, but also distant. I suddenly felt lonely. I didn't understand why I knew, but he was leaving me behind. This was the last time we were going to be standing together, looking up at the same sky. Oh, it's a nightmare time? Yep, it seems so. Oh no. After the divorce, our dad chose to live in the countryside. He used to live on a farm and he missed the wide open spaces. Every second week, my brother and I went to live with him. You would go there? Unless they were forced to because of the whole sharing custody thing. But seriously, I would not go. But then there could be a loving side that he was not shown. Because I haven't seen all the details. But he's still douchebag in my head. I liked the wide open spaces too. I liked that it was quiet and there weren't many people around. My brother hated it for the same reasons I loved it. My brother chose a college 2 hours away, just so he didn't have to come live at our dad's house. Yes. He worked a part-time job and lived on dorm instead. Lived on dorm. I remember to tell Richie that. Lived in a dorm instead, in the middle of the city. We rarely talked to each other after that. There was always the internet, and sometimes we texted each other, but it wasn't the same. The distance between us was more than just physical space. We were growing apart too. I was told this was something that happened naturally to everyone, something that couldn't be helped. I just didn't realize it would happen to us too. I missed him. Oh! Am I right about it being on a bus in the car accident? Oh, that is such a pretty moon. Much prettier than my moon. It It was late at night. I don't remember why, but I was late coming home. The trains had stopped running. I took the last bus out to the countryside where it left me standing alone at the last stop. I was supposed to take the final bus there that went to my dad's house, but I had already stopped a long time ago. The distance from the stop to my dad's house was far too long to walk. I called my dad, but he was out working the night shift. It was just me and the stars. I looked up at them and felt so small and so terribly alone. I texted my brother and told him that I missed the bus. He called back immediately. Why isn't Dad picking you up? He's working the night shift. I hadn't heard his voice so long. We hadn't talked in half a year. The phone warped his voice and he sounded strangely distant. It's so familiar. All of a sudden my throat squeezed and I couldn't speak. My brother misunderstood. He thought I was calling for help. Wait for me. I'll be there soon. Yeah, people do tend to misunderstand over a phone, because you can't see them face to face. It was an hour's drive to where I was from his college. He drove as fast as he could and reached me in 40 minutes. He should have had his phone on at least. My brother complained as soon as I got into his car. He tapped the steering wheel with his fingers, angry at my behalf. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Never drive when you're angry. Never drive when you're emotional. Please don't tell me that's why they got into a crash. Please don't be because of his emotionalness. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, I gotta keep going. Thanks for coming. I meant it. He glanced over at me and released the parking brake. You're about to cry. I couldn't just leave you here. My brother woke without me. So that okay. They did say one eye, and I guess the other eye is like that when they choose to leave or something. But yeah, I found him standing in the hallway, looking out the window. One of his eyes was clear, and I immediately thought of Mei-ling and knew. Hey. Shaking a little, I called out to him. He didn't seem to hear me. He gazed out at the earth, his expression quiet and so far away. I was losing him, faster than I imagined. He was slipping away from me right in front of my eyes, even as he stood there simply staring at. I swallowed a painful lump in my throat and reached out for his hand, but I couldn't touch him. He was fading. Wait, please wait. My voice was louder now, more desperate. He must have heard the tears in my voice because he finally turned to see me. Sis, are you leaving? He turned back to the earth. I want to. It's calling me. It's so bright and warm, sis. I wish you could see it too. The words slipped out of his mouth as a breathless, longing sigh. There was deep yearning in his eyes, and I knew he wanted to go. He was being drawn somewhere far away where I couldn't reach him. I looked at my only brother, fading away into light in front of me. I realized this was the last time we were ever going to talk. I would never see my brother again. Thought filled me with a deep weight aching loneliness. I bit my myself as he grew less and less tangible. Do you have to go now? Even as I pleaded, I knew it was hopeless. He was ready to leave me. Still, he heard me. For a moment, he looked at me with guilt in his eyes, and that stung more than watching him leave. Do you want me to stay? His question hung in the air. No matter how much my brother longed to wake, he was still worried about me. It was so like him to think of me, even at a time like this. When I saw the way he looked at the earth, he told me how much he hated being stuck here. This was his moment to escape, to finally leave, and he was ready to throw it away if I asked him to stay. I was afraid of being alone. I was afraid of never seeing him again. But even more than that, I was afraid to hold him back from moving on. I couldn't do that to him. He was my brother. He was my best friend. I had to let go. I had to say goodbye. I wiped the tears streaming down my face and tried to be strong. He had to go. I took all my strength and will to say those words. He watched me, his expression torn. I forced a smile to show him. I'll be alright. I'll be okay. I'll miss you more than you will ever know, but I'll be okay. It would really be alright. If I didn't believe myself, my brother surely wouldn't. So it would be alright. It would be alright. Goodbye. I love you. And thank you. Thank you for being my brother. I choked on my last few words and knew that I would never get another chance to say them again. I love you too. He reached out a hand and patted my hand. Hit gently. I ruined the moment again. He still seemed reluctant to leave, but there's no turning back then anymore. Be strong, sis. Wait, what's your name? No, we don't know your name. His body glowed one final time and he disappeared into a burst of light. Why did you not give his name? Ugh. The light finally faded away. There wasn't anyone else left in the hallway but me. My brother was gone. I would never see him again. I don't even remember his name. I let that thought sit in my mind, but I felt so numb. I'd never been without my brother before. I had no way where I could reach out to him. It didn't feel real. Dang, hiccups. I missed him. I missed him so much. The aching emptiness in my heart consumes me, and I cry with all my strength. Default end, the loneliest number. Ah. Okay, so I got the. I'm guess to me this is a bad end because you're lonely. Alright. So that's that, everybody, was Those Without Names. I shall be leaving a link to the download in the description for those who want to see the best ending for yourselves, because I'm not going to spoil that. Anyway, thank you for watching.